Mia Turner's breath billowed like steam in the frigid night air as she hurried along the empty street toward the lone ATM. The wind cut through her coat, and the flickering streetlights cast quivering shadows that danced at her feet. She wrapped her hands tighter around the pin pad, every keystroke echoing in the stillness. At her side, Shadow, her retired canine German shepherd, stood motionless, except for his ears, which were pinned forward, and his nose, which twitched as he scanned the darkness. The city outside the bank felt abandoned, but Mia could sense the tension creeping up her spine, as if the night itself were holding its breath. Could it just be her imagination? Before she could shake the thought, the soft crunch of footsteps approached from behind. Mia's heart skipped, and the air on her neck turned icy. A low voice sliced through the silence. "Don't move! Hand over the cash!" The words were calm, practiced, void of hesitation. Mia froze, her hands straying from the bills, her mind racing. There was nothing amateurish about that voice. It belonged to someone who had done this before. But what the man didn't realize was that Mia wasn't defenseless. Shadow's deep, guttural growl rumbled through the night like distant thunder. Startled, the thief paused, his gaze flicking to the dog. Mia swallowed hard, weighing her options. Run and risk a knife at her back, or comply and pray for mercy. The man's tone sharpened. "Hurry up," he snapped, brandishing a small blade that glinted under the street lamp. As he reached forward, Shadow's warning bark shattered the tension. Sharp, explosive, final. The criminal barely had time to register what was happening before the dog lunged. Muscles coiled, jaws snapped shut around the man's wrist, and the knife clattered uselessly onto the pavement. The mugger screamed, thrashing to break free. But Shadow held him down with the weight of a freight train, amber eyes blazing with unwavering focus. Mia's breath came in ragged gasps. She'd never seen Shadow move with such ferocity. Yet the moment was interrupted by a crash of footsteps and a second threat. A hulking figure emerged from the shadows, steel pipe raised like a guillotine. "Let him go," the newcomer snarled, "or I'll crush your dog's skull." Fear knotted in Mia's gut, but she stood firm. Shadow didn't flinch. His low growl was a promise. The pipe swung in a deadly arc, but Shadow twisted away, agile and swift, while Mia seized her chance. She kicked the pipe, sending it skittering into the gutter. Before the first attacker could react, Shadow was upon him again, pinning him beneath powerful paws. Fangs mere inches from his throat. Mia planted her feet, voice ice-cold. "I let you go, you're gone. Understand?" The man nodded frantically, eyes wide with terror. One sharp whistle later, Shadow released his hold, but his stance remained rigid, muscles ready to strike. The two criminals didn't look back. They bolted into the night, leaving only heavy breathing and the distant hum of the city behind them. Mia placed a trembling hand on Shadow's head, feeling the steady beat of his heart. For a moment, the world was silent again. "It's over," she thought, at last. Then headlights flickered at the edge of the street, a sleek black SUV prowling nearer, engine idling like a beast ready to pounce. Mia stiffened as the window slid down, revealing a calm, controlled man in the driver's seat. His smile was polite, but colder than ice. "You made quite an impression," he said softly. Shadow growled, the sound deep and warning. The stranger's gaze flicked to the dog before returning to Mia. "Smart dog," he said. "Let's hope you can keep him on a leash." A shiver crawled up her spine. He knew her name. He wasn't bluffing. Her phone felt too heavy in her pocket. Yet there was only one person she could call. "Ryan, it's me," she whispered. The line crackled once before a familiar, gravelly voice answered. "Mia, what's going on?" She took a steadying breath, recounting the mugging, the pipe, the SUV, and the man's parting words. Ryan's tone went from concern to steel in seconds. "Send your location. I'm on my way." She hung up and pressed her cheek against Shadow's fur, drawing strength from his warmth. Moments later, the SUV roared back into sight, this time with the pipe-wielding thug leaning out a window, hand drifting toward his waistband. Mia's heart pounded. "Don't mun," he called, voice mocking. "We just want to talk." Shadow barreled forward, teeth bared. But before the criminal could draw his gun, the truck shot around the corner, headlights blinding. "Mia, get in now!" Ryan's voice was urgent. Mia yanked open the door. Shadow leapt inside, and within seconds they were speeding away, the thug's enraged shout swallowed by the roar of the engine. The chase was swift and harrowing. city lights melting behind them as Ryan veered off onto a desolate road flanked by dark woods. Mia clutched Shadow's leash, every muscle coiled. She didn't know where they were headed or why Ryan risked his life for her, but she trusted him. After what felt like an eternity, the truck came to a stop in front of a secluded cabin hidden among towering pines. Ryan cut the engine, and they slicked inside through a reinforced door. The cabin was Spartan but secure. Surveillance cameras in each corner, steel reinforced doors, and a locked weapons cabinet. Ryan poured 2 cups of coffee and slid one across the table. "Start from the beginning," he said, voice low. Mia exhaled, then told him everything. No need for details on her tears. Ryan already knew her well enough. When she finished, he opened his laptop, typed rapidly, and revealed a dossier. Victor Calloway, ex-military, dishonorably discharged for extreme violence. Now the head of a criminal syndicate specialized in abduction and robbery. Mia felt her blood run cold. Ryan pointed at a line. Threat level, K9 units. He hates dogs like Shadow, Ryan explained. Years ago. A canine named Titan bit him, held him until police arrived. That dog ruined his career. He's never forgiven it, and now he wants revenge. Mia's gaze darted to Shadow, who had no memory of Titan's attack, yet had sensed danger from the start. She pressed her palm to his flank, grounding herself. "We're not hiding," Ryan said, locking eyes with her. He opened the weapon safe and handed her a Glock. "You need this." Mia stared at the gun, sweat slick on her palms. "They won't come this soon," she murmured. Ryan's laugh was bitter. "Calloway doesn't wait." Before another word could pass, headlights swept across the windows. Ryan swore under his breath and killed the lights. Outside, car doors slammed. A familiar voice, cold, taunting, echoed through the trees. "Mia Turner, ready for another round of hide-and-seek?" Shadow erupted forward, fur bristling, as the first gunshot shattered the night. Glass exploded inward. Shadow bolted out, a dark blur, tackling one attacker to the ground. Ryan sprinted after him, AR-15 raised. Each shot found its mark. One thud dropped, another retreated, clutching his side. Through the chaos, Calloway stood silent, his face a mask of fury and disbelief. His men fell one by one beneath the onslaught of bullets and canine fury. When the last thug scrambled to the SUV, Calloway's voice cut through the cacophony. "Fall back." The engine howled as they sped away. He paused in the driver's seat, turned back, and offered Mia a final chilling promise. "This is just the beginning." Then he vanished into the darkness. Silence reclaimed the forest. Inside the cabin, shattered glass lay scattered among spent casings. Ryan lowered his rifle, exhaling. "It's over," he said flatly. Mia sank to her knees beside Shadow, wrapping her arms around his massive neck. His steady heartbeat and warm fur were all the reassurance she needed. Ryan stood behind her, smirk breaking through the grime on his face. "You've got one hell of a dog, Turner." Mia pressed her cheek into Shadow's soft, thick coat. "Not just a dog," she whispered. "Family." Outside, the wind rustled the pines, and for the first time since the night began, Mia felt something she thought she'd lost. Safety. Yet beneath the calm lay an unspoken truth. Victor Calloway would return. And when he did, Mia, Ryan, and Shadow would be ready.